I'm sick, and I'm just letting you know at the start of the video so you're not like, man, why does he sound like he's got 2 grapes in his nose? Look, flu season's not been kind to you, boy. After spending time on a ship with a bunch of sick people, I got sick. Who knew that could happen? I don't know. I think I'm going to die in the next 5 days, so that's kind of tight. But yeah, today in Get Personal, it's been a minute since we've done one, and as you know, I try not to do these unless I have a very specific or at least reasonably specific topic to talk about. I don't want to sit here and ramble about nothing for 10 minutes, and today is no exception. I want to talk about kind of ups and downs, working on what you can control, ignoring things you can't control, and trying to extrapolate that to both my streaming and videos, as well as kind of touch on some things that have been not bothering me, but have been in my mind for a while. So hopefully some of this can help you guys in your day-to-day. But what do I mean? So I got really good advice from I don't even know where. I think it was my college guidance counselor back in high school. Maybe it was even earlier than that. I don't remember. It's one of those things that's always stuck with me because it made so much sense at the time. And I probably made a video a couple years ago talking about this as well, but things change. And that topic is why are you worrying or stressing about things that are out of your control when you should be focusing on things that are in your control, especially when those things in your control can affect the things out of your control. And that's a lot of fucking, that's like, man, it sounds like I'm about to write a book and it's like, well, let me tell you the secrets to life first and foremost. That's not the case, all right? Everybody deals with stress and worry and problems and ups and downs in different ways, but this has just been a way that for the longest time it's stuck with me. What do I mean? So earlier this year, and by this year I mean 2017, at the start of 2017, literally a full year ago, I was kind of bummed because a lot of the things that I was doing both on Twitch and on YouTube weren't enjoyable for me anymore. A lot of that was Counter-Strike. A lot of that was, stressing to play games that I didn't want to play. It was worrying about numbers. It was worrying about viewership, all of that shit. And the catch-22 there is that most of that is not in your control. When you have a decline in viewership or when you have a decline in anything in life, whether it's your sales at your store or whatever, it can get to you. It can get to you, especially when it seems like no matter what you're doing, it's not going to change. And so I made a major decision to step away from Counter-Strike, the thing that had made my channel grow faster and more popular than ever before. And that's kind of a scary thing. And it was an interesting time because as a result, I saw a decline in viewership. I saw a decline in subscribers, and that can wear on you. And I want to make it clear that at no point during this time was I ever like, shit, better suck it up and just play the game I hate. Like, that's not a healthy mentality. And I think that a big reason why I've been able to stream and make YouTube videos for 8 years straight is because I continuously do the things that I want to do. And a lot of people will be like, well, dude, that's fucking simple advice. Why the hell would you make a video on this? Well, because it's a I almost died. You see what I mean? It's rough out here. Because it's a simple concept, but it's hard to do in practice, you know? It's like telling somebody like, well, dude, just fucking be happy. Smile a little bit, you know? Like, yeah, I'm sure that is easy in your mind, but it's probably not that easy at the start. And whenever I get down about things that are not necessarily in my control, it's pretty hard to practice what you preach and say, well, my viewership's down. Maybe I should, focus on making different kinds of content that are better. Or maybe I should really focus in on what I can do to improve my situation. Sometimes it feels good to mope. And it does. I made a video on that. Sometimes it feels good to just kind of sit in the bed and be like, fuck, man, fuck. And that's fine. So I'm just going to keep using my channel in the last year as an explanation for, where we're going with this. January and February really sucked. March sucked. In February, I said to myself, you're going to stream as much as humanly possible. You're going to buckle down and you're going to put in work to do something about the situation that you find yourself in. If you're not happy with the viewership, if you're not happy with the amount of people that are watching you, you need to put in the work. You need to put in the effort to obtain something. You can't just sit here and be like, woe is me. If only I played Counter-Strike, things would be going better. Because, like I said, it's not healthy to do things you don't want to do. And at the same time, everybody goes through ups and downs in their life. And every channel and every streamer will go through ups and downs. That's just the natural flow of things. Success is a lot like happiness in my mind, where success is a temporary thing, and overall, you're going to have highs and lows. A lot of people will point to a streamer, say like Shroud, who just blew the fuck up, and they'll be like, look, he's literally only having success. Well, that's not true. He wasn't having as much success before. His viewership is going to fluctuate, and at some point in time in the future, whether it's next year or 10 years down the line, he will be at a lower point than he was before. And even if you're not, the growth, like there's an absurd amount of things that you can point to and be like, well, I'm not having the same amount of success. Would you guys call 1 month you get 10,000 subscribers? And you're like, oh my fucking God. And the next month you get 5,000 subs. Almost everybody's going to be like, yeah, you're still succeeding. Things are going up and up. But in your mind, you could be like, not doing the same as last month, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. My point is that there's always going to be something for you to look at and say, not as successful as I once was. Or, I'm happy that I was successful, but I don't know how I'm going to get there again. So, May, June, July, the summer months, I didn't travel at all for 3 months in the second quarter of the year. And I focused on streams, and I streamed more than I ever had before. I mean, I'm talking, I went from averaging 70 to 80 hours a month to averaging 130 to 140 hours of stream a month. The problem was that I wasn't seeing any positive growth. In fact, I was just maintaining things. I was playing a lot of PUBG, and that was fine. I still love the shit out of that game. It's my favorite. But, you're playing a lot of games that you enjoy, but you're just not seeing the growth. You're not seeing the benefit. And it started to get down, or I did. I started to get down. I remember texting Cheney and being like, look, like, I know that, you guys look at like 1,200 viewers on stream or like, 50,000 views on a video and you see success, but like, I just see, a lower point than where I was once before. And it's true that there's always going to be people that look up to you and say that's successful or that's not. But deep down inside, it wasn't cutting it for me. And so that was the hardest point for me to look at myself and say, hey, you're still not practicing what you preach. You're putting in the work, but you're still not trying to control all the things you can control. I was sitting here going, oh, I can't stream right now because Shroud and Summit are streaming and they're going to, eclipse my viewership. And then that would make me worried. It would make me stressed and I'd get on stream and I wouldn't have a good cast and I'd leave early. And I was pissed. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I spent a lot of time at home after streams or after finishing up my daily work. And I would just sit on the couch and fucking stew. Because it seemed like what I was doing wasn't enough, and the things outside of my control weren't responding to the things that I was doing within my control. And I promise I'm getting to a point here because we're 8 minutes in. I want to show you guys a graph of my viewership on Twitch from the last year. This is an average viewership graph, and it starts, again, a year ago, and it continues to this day. Do you see that sharp increase right here? I could promise you that if you told me this would be the case right now, I would spit in your face. I would. Because it's just a stupid change that makes no sense to me. On that day that it started, I believe I started playing Call of Duty coming back from the race. It was literally the day I came back from the race. Started playing Call of Duty, a game that I hadn't played on stream in a year. And I was doing pretty well. I was like, oh, nice. Like, it feels good to have viewership like that. Like, I forgot what it feels like. And then I played Getting Over It. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? It's weird, it's stupid, and people loved it. And then I was like, whoa, hold on. You mean I can play weird single-player games or games that I wouldn't normally play and see a positive increase? I don't have to just play one game that I thought was my key to success because it was the biggest game on Twitch, PUBG. You mean I can take a risk like that in my mind and focus on just enjoying myself? Then I played Doki Doki Literature Club. And to this day, it's one of the few videos that I have an aggressive amount of people both on Twitter or on YouTube or in Twitch, people coming and be like, yo, I really fucking loved that 7 hours of you talking. And I was like, what? How does this even make sense? It doesn't. It was out of my control. I would have never thought to do it. But at the end of the day, I was like, man, nothing is working in my control. Maybe I should just try something new. Maybe I should just take the risk. What do I have to lose? What do I want to do right now? And it paid off. I mean, everything that I've been doing single player wise, playthrough wise, I played South Park. I fucking loved it. YouTube loved it. Like everything that I was doing in the last 3 months or so have been so completely ass backwards from what I've done the last 7 years of YouTube and Twitch that it just felt weird for me to go in that direction. No, I'm not a variety game streamer, but if you give me a good game to play, I'm way less against playing it now. And how does this tie in, all the way back to you guys? I think that it all breaks down to knowing that you're going to have downs and ups and accepting that that's a fact. No matter who you are or where you go or what you do, you will have ups and downs, both in your career, social life, personal life, whatever. I remember I used to think in high school, all right, dude, pick 2 of 3. You're going to have a great time doing it. Your school's doing well, awesome. Your social life's going well, awesome. Your personal life, not going well. And it took me a while to realize that all of them could be going up at the same time. All of them can be going down at the same time. It's not, it's not like pick 2 and lose 1. It's just sometimes things go great and sometimes things don't. There will always be a natural ebb and flow to everything that you do, and my channel for 9 months was going through that. I made a huge change to cut out Counter-Strike, and it showed, and it affected me personally in an emotional way, and it caused me to say, fuck, I'm not enjoying myself, and I think it showed. I think that a lot of my content suffered during that time, and so that's kind of why I feel like this is a good video for the general people, because it's really hard to practice what you preach. And it took me a long time, 9 months to be exact, to realize, dude, you're not enjoying things because you're just trying really hard to affect stuff you can't. If you just focus on making yourself happier, doing the things that you want to do, as long as they are contributing towards your overall goal of improving whatever situation you're in, give it some time. It might take 5 years, might take a year, might take a month. You will eventually have a positive effect on that. And it all starts in my mind the second that I realized, hey, you're not practicing what you preach. You got to go back to it. You got to really look at what you want to do and how you're going to do it and make sure that you're enjoying yourself or that you yourself are in the best possible position. And it's easy to lose track of it, and it's easy to, preach hollow words and me sit here and be like, nah, dude, but for real, just focus on what you can control, man. Nah, you got to sit down and you got to really think about it yourself. You got to really think about it yourself and make sure that you're doing everything you can, because I thought I was doing everything I can, but I wasn't, and it was affecting me negatively. So if this helps anybody, I super hope it does. But I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry for the sick voice. I am on the tail end of this disgusting flu. I will be hopefully healed soon. But anyways, thanks for listening to my ramble as always, and I'll talk to you all later.